Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Steven. You guys are watching the Fallow Airgun channel. Today, guys, check it out. We have again with us the Snowpeak M60B. This is the bottle version here. That's what the B stands for. And this is a 9mm 357 caliber airgun. We're going to be shooting these Snowpeak pellets today. These are 80.87 grains, so pretty much an 81 grain pellet. We're going to be shooting them over to Chronograph, making a little group out there at 30 yards. So let's have a little bit of fun, get some consistency from this thing with a regulator. This is a regulated PCP airgun and 3600 psi max field, just a hair over. 2600 psi on the regulator. I believe in some past videos I may have put some misleading information out there. I think I may have called it 1900 psi. It is 2600 psi on the regulator. And we're filled all the way up to a max fill today, so 250 bar and 200 bar on the regulator. Again, shooting these 81 grain pellets. Let's get to it. Alright, here we go, folks. So it's going to be straightforward. We're just going to be shooting a little group out there at 30 yards. Got the camera up downrange, got the chronograph here. It's very cloudy, so hopefully we'll get most of this on the chronograph. Again, 3600 psi max fill and 2900 psi on the regulator. We got our first magazine here. Gonna go ahead and get loaded up and get right to it. Alright, here we go. And I'm not going to use a bag or anything. I'm just going to try to freehand shoot this little group here. Let's get right to it. 751 feet per second. 767. 771. So we still seem to be a little bit on the top end of that regulator, I believe. Let's see what happens. That one flew off to the side. 772. 707. Still not bad in the big bore. It's fairly consistent. 715. Still looking good on our regulator. 761. 719. And where we at with shot here? We got 4 more left here. That one missed. 745. 694. 686. And I am not sure if that was our last one there. We have one more. 686 on that last one. Miss out there at 677. Now this isn't sighted in at all. This is just giving me a little bit of a point of aim and just letting the gun do the work. This is all from the factory here. So let's take a look at our pressure now for our first magazine. And I believe this is a 12 shot 35 cal magazine. So let's find out how much pressure we've lost. So we were starting at 2600 psi. We're now to right about just a slight hair. I'd call this right about 2800 psi. We're right about 200 bar now, just right there. Our regulator is telling us that we're right at about 100 and maybe 175, somewhere right in there. So we're going to shoot another magazine. I believe as far as the advertisement, it was saying that this was shooting a maximum of 650 feet per second. So already these velocities are much higher than manufacturer is calling for anyways. I'm going to load up another magazine here with these, well, we'll just pretty much call them 81 grains, 80.87 grain pellet here. And for anybody that may be curious about it, this is Snowpeak's branded pellet here, and it is just a simple, traditional, very large 357 caliber pellet here. traditional, you know, dome nose skirted type projectile. Sending them out down range with a very quite respectable amount of energy, over 100 foot-pounds. The group out there at 30 yards so far has been fairly consistent. I mean, we're still keeping it under what looks like from here, under 2 inches, under 1.5 inches possibly. Some of those did not make it onto the target out there, as you'll see in the video, but not a big deal. Again, this isn't sighted in. This is strictly just a test to show you. From the manufacturer, no adjustments whatsoever. I have not adjusted the regulator. I have not done anything other than fill this gun up with air and shoot it over the chronograph for you. Second magazine. Let's see what it does here on the second magazine. Alright, here we go. Second magazine, same point of aim. That one flew off. They're flying off to the left side now. I may actually make one small adjustment here just to keep us back on the steel here. So 713 feet per second on that last one. .668. .664. .656. So now we're getting down into those manufacturer specified numbers. .648. .649. We are still high up in the reg there. We're only at one. I mean, we barely dropped anything. Let's get another one out there. .644. .635. .630. Another .630, and I believe we might have 2 more in here. .621, looks like we're falling off now. Last one here. Another .621. You know, I'm almost curious just to see. That's the end of our second magazine. So that is 24 rounds out, and we are let's say 160 bar even. So I mean, we're still really conservatively using our air here. Our regulator's got us sitting pretty close to 100, and I'd say it's about 155, roughly 155 bar. So still, I mean, we're gonna shoot another magazine here. We're gonna go ahead and do it. Same point of aim, everything. I want to see what will happen here. So 650 feet per second is what the manufacturer is putting on their box, and we've got well over that. And because we are now at 620 feet per second, I believe that we'll probably get another, ooh, I'd say 5 or 6 more shots right here before we really start dropping down into the 500 feet per second range. So let's find out. Let's see how correct I am. Let's see how well this regulator is working in this air gun. Because if we can get those 5 or 6 more shots out of this regulator, consistent right there in that 600 feet per second range, then I'd say that's a good deal. At 3 magazines out of this, 12-shot magazines, this has got a great shot count on it so far. And again, we're talking about a 35 caliber pellet here. All right, here we go again. Let's make it happen. 615, there's one. 607, two. We might get another one here. 613, there's a little surprise, a three. Come on, give me 5 of them. 604, that's number 4. Alright, come on, get up in that 600. 606, there's 5. Something dropped a little bit on the reg here. There it is, 598 on number 6, I believe it was. So, still in the 600 feet per second range. It's pretty respectable. Let's go ahead and shoot us another one out here, see what happens. Oh, it'd help if I probe one in for us. Okay, so 598 on number 6. 599. That's still on number 7. That's still really consistent up there. Okay, 596. So we're dropping out of the regulator. It's just going to start dropping really steadily here. Not a big deal. I'm absolutely enthused. I'm tickled to death about the shot count that's on this. Again, 2,600 psi on the regulator, 3,600 psi on the bottle, and over the span of 3 magazines, we've gotten ourselves down now to, I mean, we're still just a hair over 150 bars. So, I mean, a really great use of air here. And even on the regulator here right now, we are at a clean 100. It looks like pretty much right at 150 bars. So, I mean, that's a really great use of air. Alright, so I just want to take a quick second, come out here and show everybody this little group. So, you know, not the tightest group at 30 yards. Obviously, it could be much smaller, but again, this is straight from the manufacturer, no adjustments whatsoever. So this is what you, at least from my understanding, would be expecting to get if you were to order this from them. So 30 yards, and you can see right here, we are, you know, if I was to be honest with you, that's probably about 2.5, 3-inch group right there. I'm aware a couple of them flew off to the side here and missed our target a little bit. So, you know, for all I know, they could have been flying 6 inches off the target here. I don't know. But at 30 yards, over 3 magazines, I believe, right here, not too bad. Alright guys, well there you have it. Just getting you a little bit of some real life numbers here over the Chronograph with the Snowpeak M60B 357 caliber. Again, I'm going to be modifying this air gun, so I want to get out as much numbers as I possibly could, as many numbers as I possibly could to you all out there. If you were to order this air gun, this is how I received this air gun. I have done absolutely no tuning, haven't adjusted the regulator or anything on it. So, out of the box, Snowpeak M60B, doing some Chronograph numbers for you all. If you enjoyed this video, just do me a favor and give it a thumbs up, subscribe. That really helps out the channel greatly, because there's no other way that, you know, this channel can get afloat if it wasn't for you all. So thank you very much for watching. As always, I'll see you on the next one.